See. Hi, everyone, and welcome to my first ever YouTube Live. First and foremost, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has already reached out and given me so much support. For those of you who know me, hello and welcome. For those of you who don't know me, hi, and I'm excited that we get this opportunity to hang out. I plan on being here for about an hour or so, just depending on what the questions look like and how much talk back there is. So feel free to just go ahead and start typing in those questions into the chat. Obviously, I just ask that you keep them respectful. Anything that I probably deem inappropriate, I probably will just skip over and could potentially just get deleted. And then, for those of you who don't know me, I'll just give you some brief background as to who I am so you kind of know what questions to ask. My name is Alejandro Ortiz, and I have been working on cruise ships since I was about 19 years old. And it has been truly a blast getting to work on them. I had to take a little bit of a break in the middle of my career simply to go back to school. And then most recently, I have been with Virgin Voyages for about the past 2 years or so. I was on Scarlet Lady last year, and then I just finished my contract off of Resilient Lady. So feel free, start writing stuff in there. I see there's so many people chatting already. This is honestly so exciting. This is fun. I just feel like all my friends are here, y'all. But yeah, thank you for joining. Feel free to just type in questions and I'll just keep reading them as we go through. Hi, everyone. This is so cute. I feel so popular. You know, in all honesty, sometimes it's difficult coming home after a contract because I feel like I have so many friends either on the ships or I have friends that I make with sailors. And then I come home and I'm like, I miss everyone so much. So this is lovely. I get to see all my friends here. All right. So I see the first question I have is I want to know how long you've been working on ships and what got you started on them. Excellent question. So I started when I was about 19 years old. I'm 28 now, so that's 9 years ago. Growing up, I was actually really, really lucky because my aunt worked for Royal Caribbean. And I'm based out of Fort Lauderdale. It was easy for us to just like go on ships with her discounts. So growing up, I was just constantly on cruise ships, and I just knew that that was kind of an environment that I wanted to be a part of. And it was just always part of my career path. I remember like in high school, it was like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, I want to work on ships. So I feel like some people don't really know that they want to, but thankfully I had that connection. And then after I graduated high school, I believed I needed to go like the traditional route of going to college and then getting a job. So I decided when I first graduated high school to go to school for hospitality management. I wanted to be a wedding planner. And it just didn't really work out. There was a lot of stuff happening in my life, a lot of personal things, things that I needed to deal with. And so I ended up like completely dropping out of college at the time. I went to go work at Disney for a bit, and when I was in Orlando, Royal Caribbean ended up having auditions in Orlando. And so I didn't know what to do with my life. And I knew that I wanted to work on ships at some point. So I went to an audition and I booked the gig. And then I was hooked. I worked with Royal for about 3 years on and off. And then I thought I was done. And then Virgin came out. So yeah, it's a really good place for performers to work. So I hope that answers that in total honesty. Can't believe how long it's been since The Mermaid, and aw, excited for that. Thank you for joining us, Craig. It's good to see you again. Favorite memory on a cruise ship? There's a lot. I don't know if there's one specific one that I can fully pinpoint right now, but I would maybe do like a collection of memories, and I would just say like the people I meet has to just maybe be like my favorite aspect of ships. I feel like that's totally not the question you asked, but that's the answer you're gonna get. Um, it I feel like ships exist as like a little bubble of sorts, and it can be difficult at times. It can also be this really, really beautiful moment in time where all of these people gather at one moment. I will think if I'll think it'll be in the back of my head if I have one specific memory, but for the most part, I want to say like the memories I can make with people. But I'll it's in my brain. Don't worry. I hope I can get you a bit of a better one. Someone is asking me if I intend on staying with Virgin, and I do. I am really, really happy with Virgin. And so I'm hoping to get another contract with them. So I will keep you guys all updated. Hopefully, you follow me on all of my socials, Instagram, YouTube. Those are the only two. But yeah, stick along. Stay around because I'll let you know exactly where I'm headed next. Next question. Hi, Alejandro. Thanks for doing this AMA. Of course, loved meeting you. How often do you practice for all the various shows you put on? Ooh, amazing question. So before we go to the ship with Virgin Voyages, we will actually go to usually Orlando, and we're there for about 2 weeks. And that is where we'll be rehearsing all of the game shows, all of the parties, all of that stuff. So we have like choreo during the day, and then we'll also tackle all of the scripts at night. And then when we get to the actual ship, we'll have an install moment. So we'll have known all of the choreography, but then when we get to the ship, the other cast will still be there, and as they are there, we are being installed into the different venues. And then we will just keep rehearsing, and then they'll kind of be like that little handover moment. Once we're in full operation, it is a little bit rare that we will actually have big rehearsals. The majority of the times that we'll have rehearsals on the ship once we're already in operation is actually when one of our cast member goes out. So, for example, if we're doing We Fancy and one of our cast members is no longer able to perform that day, we will just have a reblock rehearsal. And so that basically just means changing of formations, or if they're unable to do a specific task that they have. So, for example, for Club Rubik's, one of our performers was out and they had did the duet, which was Total Eclipse of the Heart. So we had a rehearsal for me to go in to that specific role. And it was just like a quick like spacing rehearsal with the entire company so we can all understand what we need to do to replace that cast member, but then just more intense rehearsals with myself so then I'm able to step into that role. And then every so often we'll just have like cleaning rehearsals to just make sure that everything looks the way it was intended to look when it was first put up. So I would say maybe like once a month we'll have like a cleaning rehearsal, and then other times it will pop up when a cast member goes out. But excellent question. Thank you so much. We are moving on. Deidre. Hi, Deidre. What is the best thing about working on cruise ships? This is a difficult one. I actually am working on a video about the best thing about working on ships, and it's there's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sweet. But I think my jump to go-to answer would have to be the destinations and just being able to travel. I am shocked, and sometimes I'm in disbelief that I've been able to see the places that I've gotten to see doing what I love to do. Yeah, so I'm it's I started about 9 years ago. I'm 28 currently, and I've been to 6 of the 7 continents with ships. Um, but yeah, I'd have to say the destinations, just being able to run around. Like the fact that I was just casually in Greece this past summer during my job. What is that? Yeah, I've gotten to go to Sydney before. It's amazing. What's your favorite destination you've cruised to, and how was the vacation with your mom? Megan, you're so sweet. I'll answer the second question first, then I'll go back to the first one. For those of you who don't know, I took just a little bit of a little break right after I got on off of Resilient, just to kind of like recollect my brain. When you're on the ship, things are just happening 24/7. It is go, go, go. Um, and there's just a lot happening. And it is really difficult sometimes the transition from ship life to land life. And so I decided to take my mom on a vacation to one, just hang out with her because I hadn't seen her in about 5 months. Um, and then two, just to be able to give myself a little bit of a disconnect, a little bit of a break so I can kind of like my brain can just recalibrate before I go back into land life. So the vacation was truly amazing. It was really needed. I got some amazing time with my mom. I miss her so much when I'm at sea. And it was also really good for like my own mental health to just like take a breath and reconfigure everything's going on up here before coming back to back home for land. And then the other part of that question was, what is your favorite destination you've cruised to? I think I have two, so I'll give you both of them. The first one is this past contract, which I loved Montenegro. It was beautiful. When you're actually sailing in, you're sailing into like, they're not fjords because I think they have to be icy to be fjords. So, like, whatever the hot version of fjords are is what I sailed into, but it is just beautiful landscaping and absolutely breathtaking for me, especially being from Florida. We don't got mountains here. So I'd have to say Montenegro was 100%, I think this past contract, one of my favorite destinations. But the other one, it was my second contract, and it was when I was in the Royal Caribbean. I was in Harmony of the Seas, and we would dock in what was called La Spezia. And La Spezia is actually the port that you then can go to either Pisa or Florence. And what I loved about La Spezia was that we were actually there from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we were there for a really long time and we had so much time to explore. But then in addition, we had Florence that we could go to, we had Pisa we could go to, and then we also had Cinque Terre, which is like the five little towns in Italy. If anyone has ever owned like an Italian calendar, it's like the cute little like cliffs by like the seaside with like little houses with our multicolored, and that place is breathtaking. I have always wanted to go back and just kind of like spend a week just jumping from the little town to little towns. So I think that has to be my favorite destination, La Spezia. One, because there's just so much to do, and then two, it's just beautiful, amazing. Um, Moving on to my next question: do you see yourself working in admin operation side of cruise ships in the future? Honestly, I've really, really debated this for a really long time because I love ships so much and I feel really at home there. But I truly believe, like, my favorite part of what I get to do currently is, like, interacting with the guests and the sailors and making those connections, and I think I would really struggle if I got put into an office and I couldn't go talk with everyone. So, currently, I don't see myself, um, in the admin operation side, but I'm open to it if the possibility arises and I'm a little bit older and maybe I'm a little bit done performing and done hosting and engaging, but it would be really difficult. It'd be really, really difficult for me to stop interacting with people. I just love talking to people so much, which is why I'm doing this. So currently, no. But we'll see. Never say never. Next question. Besides the obvious difference from a sailor's perspective between Royal Caribbean and Virgin voyages, what are the differences from your perspective? Woof. Good question. Meaty question, I'll say. I'll say the biggest difference is the come as you are belief that Virgin has. So I think Virgin, because it is adult by design, gives us a little bit more flexibility in the way that we either present ourselves or that we carry ourselves and the way that we express ourselves. So back when I was with the Caribbean, like tattoos were like a huge no-no. Any type of, like body modifications were just also no. Whereas in Virgin, I feel like they're just completely welcomed. So that's, I think, one of the biggest differences for me is just, I feel like acceptance of diversity. That sounds not like the best way to put it, but just like I feel like I can be my genuine individual self. And I think the other few differences is just like the entertainment offerings are just completely different. And so, just for me being in entertainment, just my day to day life looks so different in like a beautiful way. And something that I do appreciate with Virgin is we don't necessarily have a stripes uh, policy. So it's not like you're going to be walking around seeing like the captain in a suit and a tie, and I don't know, everyone feels kind of like uppity. I feel like Virgin, everyone just kind of like uses first names. It's really homey. I definitely feel like I had a family when I was with Royal Caribbean, and I loved my time there. Really grateful for it. But there's just a little bit more. It's a little bit more freeing at Virgin, and then in addition, the way that they built the ships and the cabins for crew specifically, a few of the people who are higher up actually have smaller cabins. And then what this ends up doing is that for the rest of us, we either get larger cabins or we get our own cabin. So, for example, I have a single share cabin, which basically, if you've seen my video, you know what it looks like. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But I have my own little bed room area. I have a little sink, and then I have a bathroom that's conjoined. And then there's a room next door that I would then share with someone else. All I have to do is really share a toilet and my shower, which is beautiful for me. So just being able to have like my own space is a huge game changer for me. It's one of the reasons why I wasn't a fan of ships way back when, and one of the reasons I left ships was I needed my own space. So the fact that Virgin was able to provide that was huge for me. And then in addition, we have free Wi-Fi, which is shocking to me. When I was on Royal Caribbean, I had to pay for my Wi-Fi, and it was like $5 for an hour. um, and it was really difficult because I just wanted to like call my mom and check in, and I had to pay $5. But Virgin just gives us free Wi-Fi, and it's good Wi-Fi too. So I feel like those are the biggest differences, at least for me. I get my own cabin, I get my Wi-Fi, I'm able to be who I am. 10 out of 10. Truly so grateful. Um, Moving on a little bit, Matt. Hi, Matt. Hi, boys. I hope you're doing well. What's been your favorite itinerary you've done so far? I'm assuming you mean itinerary like the entire week long itinerary, like the entire voyage long itinerary. Um, in this past contract, I'm going to say it was not the Greek one, but the Adriatic Sea days. That's not what it's called at all, but that one, the one that has Croatia and Montenegro. I feel like those ports were just breathtaking and incredibly, uh, I don't know, different, and didn't feel super touristy. Loved my time in Greece. Really grateful to be there. But there was just a few moments where I was like, this is a lot. So that would be my favorite itinerary from this past contract. And then my favorite itinerary I've ever done, I think, would be back on Harmony of the Seas, the original takeout. We were docked out of Barcelona, and then we'd go to like Palma de Mallorca. We did La Spezia. It was beautiful. We went to Naples, Italy. 10 out of 10 itinerary. Loved that. I do believe that if you're a Virgin fan, I do believe that the Valiant has a very similar itinerary. So if you want to stay with Virgin but do a similar itinerary to my favorite one, go to Valiant. Um, that's so cool hearing about the rehearsals. Thanks for answering my question. Of course, that's why I'm here. Thank you for joining. Curtis wants to know who was my favorite guest ever. Not you, Curtis. I adore you though. If you guys watch what video are you in, Curtis? I think it's the show's video. You'll see a moment where I pop in to another rose, and there Curtis is waving at the camera. So yeah, if you want to say hi to Curtis, but Curtis, you're amazing. I did have a great time with you there. Thank you very much for coming to visit me. When you went to DR with Virgin, did you jump off their waterfalls? I did not actually. This is gonna sound embarrassing. When I was on Scarlet, I rarely got off that ship. I was really tired when I was on Scarlet, and it was just I would like go to get off, and I'm like, I'm tired. I don't feel like getting off today. Um, I had a great time, but it was just, I'm not really like I don't feel like I personally take the biggest advantage of the ports as much as other people do. I feel like other people like get off every single day and they just like run around, and me, I'm like, I'm gonna stay on the ship and read a book, go to the gym and recollect myself. I always tell myself I'm gonna be more adventurous and go exploring a little bit more. But I never do. I'm also in for some reason, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit more scared of heights. I've always been scared of heights, but as I get older, there's just something terrifying about jumping off of things. This past contract, where were we? We were in Rhodes, and in Rhodes, there's this little place that you can actually jump off into the water. And I remember I went up there and I was like, I can jump off of this, and I stood. And I just panic entered my body, and I turned to like walk down the stairs so I didn't have to jump off. And there was just a million Italian children staring at me, and they were probably like 7. And they're like, "Are you not gonna jump?" And I was like, "Well," and so I didn't know what to do. So Christopher, my beautiful cabin mate and a good friend of mine, actually went up the stairs and held my hand so we could jump off together. That was really cute. Um, Moving on, Montenegro saying we did your boy. Oh my gosh, your best friend's proposal at the top of the mountain. That's amazing. I'm currently not seeing anyone, but that's just setting the bar for where my proposal is going to be. Um, so let Joel keep his jobs. You stay on ships. I will stay on ships. Don't worry. Is there an official recording of the Scarlet Night song? There is not, and I always feel like they should because I would make that my like ringtone. I sing it all the time. It's actually really bad. I'll like be brushing my teeth and I'll be like, "You love me, the ocean." But no, there's not an official recording. I tell them that they need to all the time. Moving on, how do you deal with home life? Do you sell where you live to go back on a cruise ship? And do you have I don't even know how to read anymore. Spuds when you're not on a cruise ship. Curious as I'm considering doing this myself. Hi, Connor. Hope you do come to ships. And if you are with the ships, yay. DM me if you need more questions or if you have more thoughts. But I'll answer overall. Um, so I was living in New York before I signed with Virgin, and when you're out at sea, my current contracts are about 6 to 8 months. And so I was really struggling because I loved New York so much, but I just couldn't, figure out how to pay for an apartment in New York while also being on ships. So what I ended up doing was I moved all of my things back to my mom's house in South Florida, which is where I currently am. Mom, I know you're watching because you're downstairs, so thank you for letting me live with you while I'm home. I appreciate you. And so I currently just live with my mom while I am back on land. And so, I got rid of a whole bunch of furniture and I sold a lot of things. I will say the hardest thing that I left in New York was my air fryer. That one was really hard to get rid of. Everything else, I was like, just take it. But the air fryer, I cried a little bit when I got rid of the air fryer. But yeah, and then most of my clothes really is just like in two suitcases that I'll just run around with. And my mom is really kind to just let me leave stuff in a room here. And then I'm actually really grateful. I actually have two rooms when I'm home because my sister, who actually lives like 10 minutes away from my mom, also has a room for me. So I kind of have a whole bunch of stuff stored in that house. And then I'm currently living with my mom while I'm here. Um, and then yeah, there are just a few things that I have to like keep spending on while I'm on the ship, but for the most part, I like try to just like do math. And then if I have any like subscriptions or any sort of like for my gym membership, I just make sure like I cancel everything before I go back out to sea because my contracts are so long. Unsure, unsure what you'll be doing on a ship, but your contracts might be shorter. I know a few people have shorter contracts, so they just keep everything up while they're home. But yeah, the transition coming back home is always really challenging sometimes just because I get home and I forget that everyone has a life and a job. So I just want to like call my best friends and be like, hey, friends, let's hang out. And like, no, they have work. I'm the one on vacation. But yeah, so hopefully, Connor, I hope that you have a mom that you can go live with. If not, you can have my room while I'm out at sea. I hope you're okay with that, mom. Connor's going to come live with us. Um, but yeah, Connor, if you have any more questions about going back out to sea, shoot me a message. Would you think there is a different vibe between Scarlet and Resilient? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes off the bat. I feel there's a few reasons why, and I think the first one would just be the time difference. So Scarlet is just a 4 to 5 days currently, and then Resilient is obviously just doing 7 day voyages. In addition, they're just in completely different parts of the world for right now. I know Scarlet will be moving shortly, but I do think there's a really large difference. Scarlet, at least when I was on it, and from my perspective, it's a lot of like people who like have a weekend off or just want to like go and have a really good time and they just really want to like party in a great way. So we usually get like a lot of 21st birthday parties. We get a lot of bachelorettes, people who just want to go and have a good time and really like take advantage of the ship, I feel like. Whereas in what I found on Resilient, was that a lot of people were there because they wanted the Virgin vibe, the Virgin brand, but were there because of the ports. So, especially this itinerary that we just got off of, we were, docked 6 days out of the 7. And so it was very often that people really were just there on the ship to go and enjoy the ports. So there were just some events where like we'd have during the day because obviously not everyone wants to get off the ship. And so, for example, on Scarlet, if we would host an event during the day, we would have a decent turnout because people, would want to take advantage of the ship. Maybe they didn't want to get off in Key West or Mexico, so they would stay on. Whereas in Resilient, like everyone's off the ship, they're off to enjoy. And then what this also does is sometimes at night, people are really tired because they've been running around Greece. So I definitely think there's a little bit of a different vibe. I would say Scarlet is just a little bit more. I don't want to use the word party because I feel like that's like negative, but just a little bit busier and energetic. And Resilient is more not that, but also still very energetic and very, very exciting. Especially as I was leaving, we had barely hit 2,000 sailors while I was there. But since I've gotten off, it's hit 2,000, so I'm sure it is wild there right now. Moving on to what is your workout routine while on the ship? William, I'm not gonna lie, it varies so much. I try really, really hard to find a workout buddy because I will always go work out with someone else because I feel like I wanna make sure that they're I wanna make sure that they're, like, on their track as well, whereas then I'll be like, "I'm tired, I'll take a nap, I won't go." Um, when I'm home, I do CrossFit. I am a big CrossFitter. If you followed me on my Instagram, you've seen it. And if you don't follow me on my Instagram, why? Um, anyways, so I'm a big CrossFitter, and so there's just sometimes not it's just very different because I love a class. I love being able to walk in and someone be like, "This is what you gotta do," and I'm like, "Great." Um, but on the ship, there are classes, but they're usually always for the sailors. If there's space, we are allowed it to pop in. So I've taken the spinning class, which is amazing, and a few other like I've taken like the hit class, super great. So when I can sneak on into those, I will. But if not, I usually just do some strength training on the ship. So we just have some great machines as well as some free dumbbells. We have a Smith machine, but there's only one Smith machine in the Sailor Gym. And then the good thing about Virgin is that we're actually allowed to use the Sailor Gym. And then downstairs, there's actually two crew gyms. So there's one gym that's just for like weight training. So there's actually a bench press machine there, a few machines, and then just some dumbbells. And then there's also a cardio gym that has a few treadmills. So usually when I'm on the ship, I'll just try to do strength training because I'm doing so much cardio already. But I'm not gonna lie, I get to the ship and I'm usually really good for like the first 3 months. And then the last month, and then I'm okay like for the 2 months in between. But then the last month, my body's like, no. But I try really hard. So yeah, I'm back on land. So I'm trying really hard to get back into the shape that I was in before, but she's challenging. But yeah, I do some strength training when I can. It's one of the reasons why I don't always get off in all the ports is so I can stay on and get my get my workout in. The next question I have is, what advice do you have for someone wanting to perform on cruise ships? Do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. Um, in all honesty, I think do a lot of research into different companies and different brands to just figure out where you feel like you fit in the best. Um, each kind of brand and each company is a little bit different. And then just do some research as to what either the itineraries are, because that's a really, really big part about being on ships, as to well as what are the shows that they have on board. So, for example, as part of the Happenings cast, I host events, but I also dance, and that is kind of like the vibe that I want to do. That's where I thrive. And Virgin is currently the only company that has something super similar to that. Um, on other ships, we'd be like a cruise director, but it's not as fun. So just do some research as to where you want to perform and to see some of the different cruise lines that are out there. And then just start going to auditions. I'm a huge believer as a performer that all auditions are learning experiences. So just audition, audition, audition. And then if for some reason you either get cut, just ask why. And then just start reaching out to do some research just as to what they're looking for and what people on the ship are like. So that way, not only do you get the job, but once you get there, you're really happy with the environment that you're in. Oh, hi, Connor. Another one. Not a question, but OMG, you made my last Scarlet night. You dragged me to the pool first, and it was so much fun. Thank you for getting in the pool with me. It's one of my favorite things to do on Scarlet Night is to see how many people I can get in the pool. So thank you so much, Connor, for getting in the pool. I'm glad that you joined me. Heather, hi friend. Hello, Heather. I hope you're enjoying your time at home, but you're looking forward to cruising with again. I still tell all my clients about you. Thanks, Heather. I can't wait to tell you what my next contract is soon, hopefully, and then you can come see me. Deidre, he got me to go in the pool too. Best decision, always, always get in the pool. If you're going on a virgin ship and you're debating not going on the ship, or you're not going in the pool on Scarlet Night, get in the pool. Do it. Like I never understand why people say no. I'm like, you'll never like this experience is so rare. Like, when are you ever on a cruise ship in this massive party where everyone's getting in the pool? It's not, it doesn't happen unless you're me and then it's every week. But for everyone else, get in the pool. It's just fun. Um, Antonio, what's your favorite meal your mom makes for you? Ooh, that's a really good question. I didn't know we were gonna get that personal. Mom, do I have one? Mom, if you're watching, I mean, I know you're watching. If you want to type in what you think my favorite meal is, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really simple. I just like some chicken and rice. She makes camarones enchilados, which are really good. So I might go with that one. That's the only one that like sticks out. She makes really good macaroni. That's what she made when I came home. She made me macaroni and meat. That was my first meal back home. I was very grateful. Um, Favorite meal? I'm gonna think about that one. I'm gonna think about that one a lot. But mom, if you think I have a favorite meal, type it in and we'll get there. Hi Claudia. What are your plans while you wait for your next contract? Excited to see what your next adventure will be. I believe that I will be hanging out here till maybe January or February is what I'm currently under the impression, but who knows truly. Um, and honestly, I have a few personal plans that I'm working on. One of the big ones is that I really want to dedicate a bit more time to YouTube. I've been really, really grateful for a lot of the support that I've gotten with my videos and just being able to share my life at sea. And so the big plan that I have is to kind of give this a bit more time. So on that note, if anyone actually has any major things that they want to know about or see with my life, non-ship related, go ahead DM me. I'm making a list of a whole bunch of videos that I plan on making in the upcoming weeks and sharing with you. But besides that, I think I'm just going to hang out and relax at home for a bit and just enjoy my time with my family. Um, I have a really, really sweet gig when I'm home because my mom just lets me live with her. So it's kind of great. I get to hang out with my mom and live with her. It's pretty good. So I'm just going to relax for a little bit, let my body decompress. And then I also just really want to get back into a bit of a better shape than I currently am. I just need like 2 more weeks and I'll be happy with where I am. And then I just want to go back to a few dance classes. I just want to start training a little bit better. So those are my plans. Train, make some YouTube videos, relax, and then do some gig-based work. So if anyone is in South Florida and needs either an event host or a dancer, shoot me a message. Happy to do some gig-based work. That's usually what I do in between contracts. Is I'll just reach out to a few either studios or schools. I may be teaching a workshop soon at a high school nearby. So that's what I'll be doing. Matt, what is your favorite show, dance experience to perform or host on board? Hands down, it has to be Loteria Gigante. If you have not been on a virgin ship, we have this event called Loteria Gigante, and it's essentially we play a game of loteria. If you've never played loteria, it is a Mexican bingo is the best way I can describe it. We have like a deck of cards that we will pool instead of balls. And then if you have the matching card on what we call your tabla, you then mark it and then you get four in a row and then you win. But while you guys play, you actually get to drink margaritas. It's an absolute blast. And it's just really, really fun, mainly because all of it is improv. Like, the only thing that's actually scripted is the structure of the event, but then besides that, we basically just get to go at it and just improv to our heart's content. And it, my favorite part of my job truly is the interaction that I'm able to have with you all. And so being able to just hang out with you guys for 90 minutes while you're drinking margaritas is just a blast. If you guys have ever gone to Loteria, you know it gets a little crazy sometimes, especially if you go when I'm hosting. Um, it gets spicy and I love it so, so much. So yeah, I think Loteria is definitely up there. I also love bingo, similar concept where it's just really fun to be able to host an event that is mostly improv, so allows me to engage a little bit more. And then in terms of the parties, I actually float on at Bimini. Wild time, so much work because we're dancing for like 90 minutes out in the Bimini sun, but it's a blast. Like I get to just like shake my body in the Bahamas in my bathing suit. 10 out of 10. I'd always be like really exhausted because it would usually be like right after Scarlet Night, but I'd also be so excited there. So I'd say maybe those two are my favorite shows and experiences to host. Hi, James. Looking at my Virgin water bottle and your sticker always makes me smile. I am so happy you like your sticker. It makes me really happy to see where everyone puts them. And then when people send me photos of where they are in the world with me, it makes me really happy. If side note, if you guys don't have a sticker of mine, you guys should hang out till the end of the live because there might be an announcement that I worked really hard on. But I'm very excited that you have. Oh, and then James asks, "What is your favorite activity to host?" Good. Um, Loteria and then Bimini, I would say. Nicole, I also do contracts, but only a month long. I struggle with forgetting people have jobs when I'm home because I don't have work then. I'm in South Florida for now for work. Oh my God. Hi, Nicole. Nicole, reach out to me. We'll hang out. Um, yeah, it's really difficult coming back home. It always feels a little strange because I like get to land and, like, nothing has changed, but everything has changed, and I just had, like, this experience that just not changed my life, but it was just so different, and then everyone else is just, like, continuing their lives, and I'm like, "How do I fit in?" It feels the best way to describe it is it feels like people are playing double dutch, and they're just, like, spinning the jump ropes, and I'm just staring at them at, like, the jump ropes, and I'm like, "But how do I how do I fit myself in?" So yeah, it's always a little difficult, and then it's also hard because I just want people to not work, so then they can hang out with me. I have another really good friend of mine, Adriana. I went to high school with her. She is currently with Norwegian, and it's really fun because when we both happen to be home at the same time, we have nothing to do, so I hang out with her like every day. But this past contract, we just didn't sync up, so she doesn't come back until December. So I remember I got home and I just wanted to like call her to go to the mall because that's what we would do. And I'm like, she's not here. She's on a ship. I'm so lonely. um, all right, next one is I have a question. Any advice on a Scarlet Night outfit for a young-minded 50-year-old male? Whatever makes you happy. I think my large scale, I'm gonna give you guys like, the overall thoughts and then maybe I'll like dive into specifics. Um, wear whatever makes you happy in life, period. Some life advice. I don't you didn't come for it, but I'm gonna tell you right now. If something makes you happy, just wear it. Life's too short, babies. But especially if you're going on a virgin ship, wear what makes you feel beautiful and happy and excited for whatever you're doing. I've had so many sailors come in beautiful outfits that they feel like they can't wear anywhere else, but they wear them on our ships, and it's so exciting. So wear whatever really if you have something in your head and you're like, "I really wanna wear this, but I'm afraid that this is pushing the bar," wear it. Obviously, just make sure, the things are covered, whatever you need to cover are covered for legality reasons, but outside of that, have so much fun. Obviously, wear red. Red is the theme, the idea, so make sure that you wear red. But then besides that, whatever your heart desires. I know there's a whole bunch of people online that actually have, like, specific breakdowns as things to wear, but wear something that you're comfortable in. The end of the night, if the weather permits, everyone goes up to the pool deck and jumps in the pool. So just think about if you want to get in the pool, if whatever you're wearing can get wet. I've seen people jumping in ball gowns, tuxedos, and all that stuff. So it doesn't matter like if you're in a suit or if you're in a ball gown or if whatever her desires. If as long as it can get wet, like maybe don't wear leather. But if you don't want that to get wet, just have what outfit you're gonna want to get in the pool with. I usually will always change into my speedos. But yeah, wear whatever makes you happy, and then just make sure your shoes are comfortable. If you haven't done Scarlet Night, it kind of takes place across like the entire deck 7, deck 6. I have a whole video on Scarlet Night if you want to watch it, but you do walk quite a lot if you want to. So just wear shoes that you're not going to be upset that you're still in after 3 hours. Hi, Gabby. Thanks for joining. What events on the ship do you feel are great to splurge on? I loved the game of the Peanut Gallery with margaritas. The best. Are there any other recommendations? Whoa, that's a big question. Thank you for asking, Deidre. Also loved that you went to Loteria Gigante. Um, I would say large scale, and then I'll dial into my personal thoughts. When you get to the ship, whether it's a virgin ship or any ship that you're going on, I feel like you really need to just think about what you really want to get out of your time on the ship, whether you want to relax or whether you want to party or whether you want to, I don't know, whatever your heart desires. And then from that decision, I would then kind of dial back a little bit and then figure out what events lend themselves to whatever you want. So, for example, it's not a specific event, but the thermal spas that we have, literally on Virgin, but also on all ships on Royal Caribbean, they had great spas as well. Um, maybe you don't need to do an event, but maybe you can just go and splurge on getting a pass to the spa and relaxing and enjoying your time there. Um, so that's what I would do. I would definitely figure out what your heart desires and then kind of just make sure you do that. I feel like when you get to the ship, there's just so much happening and like things are booking up left and right. So I would just figure out like what is it that you want to get out of your vacation and then just make sure like you stick to that. In terms of the stuff on the ship, it really just depends again what you want. If you're talking about Virgin, but if you want to drink, we have a lot of drinking events on the ship. Loteria Gigante is definitely my favorite. Partly game show, part margarita drinking. slash you take tequila shots. It's great. If you want to continue drinking, mix it up is phenomenal. You get like 6 drinks within like 90 minutes. If you want to do some photo taking of drinks, you can also go to Shot for Shot, which is amazing. So I'd maybe go to one of those. Another one is I really like bingo. Bingo is usually an amazing, amazing, super fun time. It's usually hosted by the diva on board, and you get to win money. So I usually try to push people for that. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. Ooh, horseplay. If you've never done horseplay, you basically buy a little wooden seahorse, and then it's this huge gambling event. People get really into it, and you actually can also win money. Those I think are like my big ones. And then my outside of like happenings events, I would definitely do if you're on Resilient, I would definitely go watch another Rose. It's a dinner show. If you have more questions on that, I have a video about the shows on board Resilient. But yeah, it's like $50. You get to watch an amazing show. Dinner's included, and so is the bubbly. So go do that. How funny that you mentioned chicken and rice. Hubby is back on his way back home now, and his favorite meal from the mom is arroz amarillo con pollo. How cute! How precious. I'm gonna go try. I'm gonna go try his mom's arroz con pollo también. If you can just add me in that. Megan says thanks. Alejandro's mom. Mom Megan says thanks. Matt says love loteria each time, single-handedly the best thing to experience on board. Thanks, Matt. Matt, I believe you saw me. You came. What you did it twice with me. I can't remember exactly. But we had a blast both times. Loteria, it's something else. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I get a little worried just because alcohol is flowing and lines get blurred, and we just have a fun time. I'm always like, "This is the event that I'm gonna get fired over," is what I end up saying at Loteria Gigante. Antonio wants to know, how do I resist the temptations of all the junk food on the ship? Whew. Long point blank, I don't. I don't resist it sometimes. I just do it. I just eat it. But I always try to find a balance. I feel like that would be the best way to describe what I end up doing. I find myself if I whether I'm on land or I'm on the ship, if I restrict myself too much, I will then just go crazy and want to eat everything. So I will just kind of be picky and choosy as to when I allow myself those junk foods. So, for example, on Scarlet Night, usually the burger bar is open late and I finish performing and I'm exhausted, I'm super tired, and I just crave a burger. So I just allow myself to eat the burger because it's what my body wants. But on the flip side, like for breakfast, I usually will just eat like an egg white omelet and that's about it. And maybe like a piece of toast. And then I can just control what I eat besides that. I usually won't go to a lot of the restaurants. I'll usually always eat in the galley or in the kitchen table, which is the crew mess downstairs. What I like about eating in the galley is that I know exactly what I can eat and still stay somewhat healthy. So I'll usually just visit like the salad bar or I will get like an egg white omelet. My egg white omelet is usually like my go-to, so much that I go to sit down and people come up and they're like egg white omelet and I'm like, yes. So yeah, I usually try to eat like a really healthy like breakfast and lunch. And then if my dinner I want to like, be a little fun, I will. But then I guess the good thing about it is that I'm there for months at a time, so I feel like it's easier for me to say no to some things at times because I know that I can if I don't want the burger today or like I'm trying to be good, I'll be like I'll just have the burger next week or tomorrow. um, what's your favorite restaurant on the ship and what do you order, Claudia? Excellent question. I actually have been working. I've been working on a video about all the restaurants on the ship. But y'all, I'm gonna tell you, making videos and working on a ship, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. But I'll give you my answer. My top two restaurants, I have two. I can't choose between them. It'd have to be Extra Virgin or Pink Agave. Pink Agave, the Mexican restaurant, so good. Make sure you get a margarita when you're there. All of the margaritas are amazing. I think my favorite one might be the strawberry one. I tried that one with my friends that were on board Resilient, and it was delicious. So I would maybe say get the strawberry margarita and then go to Pink Agave. And then my suggestion for Pink Agave, you're going to order everything, okay? There's small plates, medium plates, and then like large plates. So the small and the mediums are your appetizers. You're going to order them all of them, and just share them, okay? I went with a group of 4 and we got 2 of everything and I mean we were full, but it was great. But if you're a smaller group, maybe just get like 1 of everything. I usually always tell sailors get 1 of everything and they're usually happy. There is a vegetable dish. I think it's in like the medium plates, which you don't need to order that one unless you really want to. But if you have to like skip one, I'd skip that one. And then for your main dish at Pink Agave, the cochinita is really good. I'd go with the cochinita. Now, if we're switching gears and we go to Extra Virgin, which is our Italian restaurant, so good. Definitely get the meat and cheese plate. Then you're also going to want to get the grilled artichoke and then beef carpaccio. Now I'm hungry. Now I want to go back on a ship just so I can eat an extra virgin. Get the beef carpaccio, and then for mains, I'll usually get the steak there. There's a lot of different beliefs out there as to what the best steak on the ship is. My personal belief is that it is the one at extra virgin. Um, so I get the steak, and then I'll usually get a farfalle on the side. So those are my suggestions. Go try it. Let me know what you think. How do you make the ship, your space on a ship, feel like home? Thank you so much. Also, shout out to Isabella's part of my technical team that are working behind the scenes. So shout out to Isabella and Allison and the rest of my team of moderators. I had no idea how to do a YouTube live, so I have been calling them nonstop to see if they can help me troubleshoot everything. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. I am a firm believer that no matter where you are, you need your home to feel like a home. And so I remember I started doing this when I went to New York because I did Royal Caribbean first, and I didn't really do that much decorating when I was on that ship. I basically just like took my clothes because that's really all that fit, and then I'd hang up a few photos, and that was nice. Um, but I realized as I've gotten older, I need my space around me to really feel homey and have things that make me feel good. So I actually sometimes either make like Pinterest boards or just make do a lot of research as to what I need around me to make me happy. So a lot of that is like lighting. I just need like good lighting. I usually always either have like mementos and then storage is a huge thing, especially on ships. And even when I went to New York, I mean, apartments are small, so I just would always make sure that I had good amount of storage and good lighting. So yeah, my biggest suggestion to making your room feel like home is taking a whole bunch of mementos from home, whether that be photos, little trinkets, jewelry boxes, letters that people write. I have a cabin tour if you want to go see what my cabin looks like. But then a huge thing, and I feel like people don't know about this enough sometimes. Usually, repeat sailors or repeat crew know this. But if it's your first time, you don't always know. You need additional storage. You need additional stuff. But the walls are magnetic. So I actually have do I have them around? I do. I have them here. So look at that. It's like I knew that was happening, but I didn't. It was just there. So I have these magnetic shelves. They're really bulky. I don't think they're gonna wanna come out. I have magnetic hooks that I can like hook stuff up on. And these are really, really great. Um, I can like put like my hat on there. The sparkly hat hangs on this one. But then I can also just like put like my loofah there, my towels there. And then I have these shelves that aren't gonna want to come out yet because they're bulky. Oh, here we go. These are my magnetic shelves. You can see them better in the video that is up, but essentially I can like put my cologne on here, all of that fun stuff. Um, and I can, this is great. So check this out. These are great. But just putting stuff up like there is really, really helpful to me to make it feel a little bit more like home. And then that way I don't have to like make everything super uncluttered. I see that the ship tease just wrote that my room is so tidy. I believe that might be Abby, if I'm not mistaken. So everyone pop in and say hi to Abby because she's amazing. My room is known to be a disaster. I don't let anyone in my cabin because it's so messy sometimes. If you watch the video and you thought it was so clean, it's not. It's usually a disaster. I see you, Abby. Usually it's Abby, the one that wants to come in my room, and I'm like, Abby, you can't. It's a disaster. The paid for ship tour, would you say it's worth it? Ooh, I feel like that's a hard question. I haven't personally gone on the ship tour, so I genuinely don't know exactly what they show you. I do believe you have to go to the bridge and they show you a few backstage areas. I say if you're someone who really enjoys, ship life and you're really curious about behind the scenes, I love the behind the scenes. Anywhere I go. So I personally would probably do it. But I feel like that's more like a personal, like, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it for you. I do know it's a little expensive, but I think if it's something that like you really, really like, I would do it. Oh, someone says the ship tour is totally worth it. Great, do it. Follow the people who did it, but I would say go for it. I think it's cool. Also, like, when are you gonna be able to do that again? You probably won't, so do it. Um, Gabby, me and my two friends, when we turn 18, I want to go on a virgin with our moms in the Caribbean. What do you recommend for us to do? Because it will be our birthday. I think that's very exciting, Gabby. Very excited for you. And I hope that you get to go on Virgin. I hope that I'm on there because it's your birthday. I think the question just depends on what exactly you want to do. So if you want to relax, I'd say obviously go to the spa, get some massages, relax. If you want to party, there's parties literally almost every night. I would think about that. But you won't be legally allowed to drink, or are you allowed to drink? I actually don't know with 18-year-olds, depending on where you are in the world. Someone answer that or do some research if you can drink or not. But we're gonna steer clear from the alcohol-based events for right now. And I think some things that I like that people do for their birthdays. I'm a big fan of the shirts that people make when it's like it's someone's birthday. It makes me really happy. And then maybe just like make things a little bit more personalized. So if you want to do like cute little balloons in your room or maybe take photos, I absolutely love. It's really big with like bachelorettes, but people will have like themed nights at night. So they'll be like, we're all gonna have matching outfits and take cute photos. Virgin is super, super Instagrammable anywhere you go on the ship. So it's really cute if you wanna, like, dress up and take a whole bunch of photos, especially because 'cause you're there with your mom, that's really special. So I think those are be my big ones, and then just make sure, like, celebrate as much as you want or as little as you want. If you're in the Caribbean and you go to Bimini, I say just enjoy it, spend the whole day at Bimini Beach Club. I do think people sometimes overlook how beautiful and amazing that beach club is, so I would take advantage of it to its fullest. So just get there in the morning, relax in the pool. There's the party, which is called Float On. So enjoy that. And then just relax. And they have food there. So enjoy it to the maximum. Um, but yeah, so enjoy your party, walk around, make things personal, and go to the spa. Add your spa. Even if you don't want to relax, I'm going to tell you to go to the spa. That's going to be mine. Team, could you please do a massive shout out to Shelly Mulligan? Hi, Shelly. Thanks for being online. I adore you. And Natalie, I didn't think you were going to watch. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Thank you for joining. Hi, Abby. I adore you. Thank you for joining. I miss you so much. Miss you way too much. It's really sad. I miss you so much. Come visit me soon. Magnetic hooks. Alejandro's room. Oh, that's Abby telling me that my cabin is a disaster. Latin dance lessons with Alejandro are so top notch. Aw, thanks, Christopher. You're so sweet. Yeah, I'm actually really excited with the Latin dance class that I get to host, or that I got to host on Resilient. Um, they just asked me if I could host one, and when I'm home, I will either teach dance classes or Natalie, you're so funny. I'll either host dance classes or I'll do a few other things. So I was really excited because with the Latin dance class, they basically just let me host it the way I wanted to host it. Um, so that was really exciting because I got to essentially create a class based around what I felt would be really helpful and useful. So I was really excited to see that sailors were really receptive and to it. It was actually one of the most popular events that I hosted on Resilient. I think we had like 90 sailors at one point, all on the perch. I was like, it's a packed, but I was always really excited. Um, so thank you for going, Christopher. Natalie, you are hysterical. I don't like it when you leave. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's really sad to leave because I get so used to being at home. Natalie actually owns the gym that I go to while I'm home. It is 10 out of 10. Super happy to be there. They make me feel like family. And it's always really, really difficult to leave. It's one of the things that I miss the most when I get to the ship. I'm like, I just miss my CrossFit gym and my life family. And I just want to go work out with them. But it's always really nice because whenever I come back home, they always welcome me with open arms. And it's actually one of my tips whenever people are trying to like adapt to their life back home is just to get back into their routine. So I remember like I landed on Thursday, and then that Friday, the next day, I just went back to the gym, and it was really comforting, and it made me feel like I was back home and I was settled to go back in. I do have some people that messaged me on my other socials that have a few questions, so I'm going to look through those. But if anyone else has questions, if you want to type them up really quickly before I start wrapping this Q&A up, but this has been so beautiful. I'm going to pick maybe my favorite ones. So I'll go through them. Do I have a favorite port? I feel like we answered that. Favorite meal on the ship? Ooh, I said that I loved my favorite restaurants were Pink Agave and Extra Virgin, but I think another one of my favorite meals that I think gets looked over a lot has to be um, it's the Thai curry that's in the galley. I feel like not a lot of people get it, but it is 10 out of 10 delicious. It is so, so good. So go try the curry. Matt just got off a Brazilian lady today. Oh, wow. You guys just got off today and you're watching this? Thank you. I feel like you guys must be so busy, but thanks for watching. Um, I'm sad I wasn't there. I have a lot of people messaging me that they're going to Resilient, and I'm like, I wish I could hang out with you, but I'm not there right now. Ooh, someone asked me about how do I handle my bad days when I'm at sea. It's a really good question, but also a really loaded question. As I stated a little bit earlier, when you're on the ship, it's like a little bubble, and sometimes that's really beautiful, and it usually is. But that also means that when, like, things aren't great, you're just, like, constantly surrounded by that, and it can be really difficult. So something that I struggled with a lot when I was, 19 years old on my first contract was I, like, only saw myself in the bubble, in the little fishbowl, and basically, I just forgot that the outside world existed. And so when anything would happen on the ship that would be negative or, like, would drag me down, it would just consume me. And it required a lot of people around me to remind me that there's a world outside of the bubble. Especially being in entertainment, sometimes like the negative things are just like small things that either like went wrong or weren't great. So for example, like there was one day where like I missed my cue for a show. It was really bad. Sorry, Abby, if you're still watching, you'll remember it. It was fine. The show went on. Nothing, major happened. But then there's other times where like I'm hosting an event and it just feels like it didn't go well. And then because I have nothing else to do, I just constantly replay it again and again and again. Or, sometimes things are just larger and they're actually like not great things happening. But what I personally do, I usually will actually go on a walk on the jogging track. You'll usually find me there when I need to decompress. But it's also just reminding myself that there is a world outside of the bubble and that things might seem really heightened in the moment, but once, in 5 months, things will be a little bit calmer. So I do lean on people around me a lot to just make sure that I'm okay. Do- Okay, I think this might be my last question that I answer for today, unless if you pop in the chat, I'll answer it. But the last ones that I had sent to me, this might be my last one. Top thing to see, drink, eat, or do on the ship, including the beach club that you notice passengers don't take advantage of. Um, I feel like there was another one. I'm lied. I'm probably gonna answer two more. The other one is, what are your suggestions for people's first day? So I'll answer that one first. Hi, Robert. I'll answer that one first, and then I'll answer what people don't take advantage of. So I think the first thing that I would suggest when people get on board, because there's so much happening your first day, and this is gonna go for Virgin, but literally also any other cruise line you've ever are gonna go on or have gone on. This is actually what I would do when I was growing up. Um, I suggest I'm someone who needs to unpack, so I usually, like, get to the ship. I like to get there earlier, you can choose your time, I like to get there as early as possible just so I can start getting in that thing. So I like to get to my cabin and then just unpack because I need to settle in, and then I go on a full ship tour, like, self-led. I will just walk around and be like, where is everything? And I just wanna, like, make sure I know where things are, especially because 'cause on Virgin, the ship is beautiful, but sometimes things don't make sense where it's just like, where are the bathrooms? It's a little confusing at times. So I say just walk around because 'cause you'll figure it out once you, like, know where things are. So just walk around and enjoy. And then I'll usually go and make sure you book your excursions and your dining times, and then your shows. And what's great about this is there's usually always people on day 1 ready to help you do that. They're usually on deck 7. Sometimes they move them around depending on what ship you are on. And that's specifically for Virgin. So I would go and just make sure you book that. And then really just think about what you yourself want to get out of your cruise, as I stated before, and then just prioritize those things. So that's day 1. There's a lot happening. Relax, settle in, make sure you've booked everything. And then if you are on Virgin, go to the sail away party and then go see me at pajama party and we'll dance together. Now moving back to the one things that people don't take advantage of, there's so much food options um, that I think people forget about on Virgin specifically. So there is the Sun Club Cafe, which is up on like deck 16, where they have some beautiful poke bowls and little sandwiches. So go check that out. I think that's like the number one that people really don't take advantage of. And then I stated it before, but the green Thai curry, chef's kiss. It is so good. It is delicious. It is delectable, and people don't try it. So I think the big thing that people don't do is really take advantage of how much food options that they are. Um, So just really, I think, do your research before you go to the ship and figure everything out. Um, but yeah, I feel like those will be like my quick answer ones, because we're nearing towards the hour. Abby's personal suggestion is the five spice chicken poke. It's so good. I love the Sun Club Cafe. I like to go when I'm able to go with a sailor. Thank you for your honesty replying to our questions and giving us insight as to what your life is like. Of course, I'm so grateful that people were watching. Will you do another session so we can learn more? In all honesty, I think might hold off on doing a full other live. Maybe when I'm getting ready to head back out to my contract, so maybe in about 3 more months, I'll do that. But if anyone has any questions about my life or ship life or recommendations or just I don't know wants to hang out, just shoot me a message. You can DM me at Alejandro The Hype on Instagram. Um, but yeah, maybe tentatively, I will. This has been really positive. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. So I would actually love to do another one of these. I was very anxious leading up to this one, calling all my best friends, panicking. But it's been really, really beautiful. So I'd love to do another one, maybe about 3 months or so. Hillary was at the show that I fully did not go to. I missed my cue. Abby says that she loves when I missed my cue. It is our show. Abby puts our show in all caps because I say that it's Abby's show or it's the hostess's show. But thank you, Abby. It's always a pleasure to dance with you. Oh, and it is now thundering outside. um, but yes, thank you all so much for watching. I did give you guys a little teaser earlier about my stickers. So if you guys have been on a ship with me or you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my little stickers. They're little mini Alejandro the Hypes. Wow, my ring light is really bright. You can't really see them. There you go. And what's beautiful is that I actually have three. There's a full collection. Um, there was a period of time where I didn't have stickers. So I'm so sorry if you went to sale and I didn't have them. I get them from America. So it was just a little difficult to try to get them over to Greece. But my really, really good friend, Williams Weaver, actually designed all three of them. And they're based off of the costumes that I wore on the ship. So this is my classic one. This is my boiler suit. I also have my lovely Club Rubik's sticker. Look at it, be so cute. And then the last one is the We Fancy one. So it is, I don't know if anyone really has all three of them yet, but they're all really, really cute. So people have been asking me for my stickers for a really long time. And so because it's really I currently am not under contract. So what I've decided to do, my friends, is actually I'm launching my Etsy shop. So if you want a little Alejandro the Hype sticker, my Etsy shop is actually live now. So the link is in my lovely bio on YouTube. You can buy, I'm selling the pack, all three stickers, so you can have the full collection, because I know some people maybe have one or two, but I don't know if anyone really has all three. So if you would like to keep my little Alejandro the Hype and take me everywhere you go, they are available for purchase now. Go check out the link in my bio. They're really cute. I have mine on my little phone. It makes me really happy when I see people walk around with them. If you end up buying one or you have one already, if you want to go ahead and post a picture of it and tag me in it, they make me so, so happy. And because you guys came to my live, I actually have a little bit of a discount code for you. So it'll only be up for 24 hours, but the discount code is YouTube. So if you just go and you go to the Etsy shop and you go to buy it, just type in YouTube at the end, and you guys can go ahead and buy one. But yeah, I hope you guys like the stickers. If you end up buying one, again, send me photos. Thank you all truly from the bottom of my heart for supporting me along my journey with one, creating this YouTube channel, and two, my journey with my last contract. It really warms my heart more than you guys can ever know. I feel like I'm very lucky and very blessed. And again, as I said in the beginning, there's moments where I forget that I have such a large community supporting me. So this truly has meant more than you could possibly know. So thank you for making my first YouTube live a positive one. I'm glad you like them, Kim. I can't wait to see where you put them. And thank you, Jeff, for coming. And Neil, I love you. You guys are truly amazing. If you guys want to see another one of these, message me. Again, I'm going to continue making content, but if there's other topics that you want to see me make content about, shoot me a DM. Until next time, I'm actually so sad to say bye because I just want to keep hanging out with you guys. You guys have truly been amazing. Yeah, it means a lot. I love you guys. Have a great one. Bye. Love you, Abby.